Hello, welcome to another video. Welcome to the first video of April, the first video of Vida. That's right, we're doing Vida again, video every day in April. I am slightly terrified about it, but fingers crossed we can get it done. April is going to be a ridiculously busy month all round. I'm doing Vida. We've got the Spring Aurelium Readathon from G at Book Roast, and we've also got the Realmathon, Realm of the Readathon from Cassidy, for which I am a co-host and one of the rulers of Escana. So if you want to join that Readathon and pledge your magic to Escana, where I am one of your rulers, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. But I will leave a link to both the Aurelium announcement and the Realmathon announcement down below, as they are the readathons I'm taking part in April. On top of that, for my Patreon Pokethon readathon, we've got our second gym in April, and let's not forget that I have a job. So April is going to be ridiculously busy, but fingers crossed I can get through it all. Anyway, we're not here to moan about April, we're here to talk about TBR Pursuit, because it's coming back for this month. I have my board. I did not play TBR Pursuit last month. I did a month of mood reading for March, but she's coming back for April. Whether I stick to it, honestly, I make zero promises. I may not read anything off this TBR, and I'm not going to punish myself for it because I'm not about doing that anymore. I'm not going to punish myself for reading what I want to read, basically. But I am going to try my best with these prompts to fit things in that I need to read, want to read, and that will fit for prompts for Aurelium. The prompts for Realmathon are a lot wider, so I'm not really gonna focus on those too much. I will just read what I read and then see what they fulfill when I enter my reads for that one, because it's much more open. Read along wise, I am massively behind on Robin Hobb. I'm also massively behind on RJ Barker. At this point, it is what it is, and I'll get to things when I get to things. Let's just crack on with roll number one. Okay, let's crack on with roll number one. 3. Blue blank would be pretty good. However, yeah. I was gonna say, however, I always start with middle grade, but I think I'm gonna go with blue blank. So let's do that. Switch it up. And what have we got? Can you find a title with one word? That could be anything. Love it. So we have a blue pie in there. Right, roll number one. Can you find a title with one word? And I'm going for Ascender by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. This is volume 1 of Ascender, which comes after Descender. I haven't read any of Ascender yet, so I need to start that. It's sci-fi comic where I think robots have, like, gone after the events of Descender. I won't talk too much about that, but the events of Descender have left the world in a specific state where the events of Ascender can take place. I'm looking forward to it, and I need to get as many comics as I can on this TBR to help me through, so one word, there it is, sorted. Roll number 2. 2. Roll again or sci-fi. I could regret this. 1, 2. Yellow, sci-fi. And we've got, can you name an intimidating read? And a yellow pie in there. Roll number 2, we got a sci-fi, and my prompt is, can you name an intimidating read? Now, I really didn't want to push my luck here and put another comic in for intimidating, because do comics intimidate me? Not really. I thought about it, I thought about how it's my game, my rules, I could stretch that, but I'm not going to do it. Instead, what I've gone for is Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. I don't know what I'm gonna make of this. It's political sci-fi with a touch of romance, I think. I've heard mixed things about it, but I've got it. I want to give it a go. I think there is potential for me to really enjoy this, but I am also terrified of it. I think sci-fi in general scares me a little bit. It's a genre that I like, but that I don't reach for very often, and I think that's because it intimidates me. But rather than picking one that really intimidates me in a month like April, where I'm going to be really busy, I'm looking at you to sleep in a sea of stars. This seems like a more manageable, intimidating read, and it works really well for my Aurelium TBR because one of the prompts, I don't know off the top of my head, but one of the prompts is something to do with a source of light, and we have like a sun or two going on here, so I'm having that. Roll number 3. 1. Adult fantasy or adult fantasy. I don't have a choice. This is gonna be scary. We have, can you name a TBR veteran? I hate this prompt. Why? But we have a purple pie in there. Roll number 3, adult fantasy TBR vet. Little bit scary, really. But one that I've gone for, I was chatting to my patrons about this one, but one that I've gone for is a continuation in a series, one that will work well for Cassidy's readathon, for Realmathon, I think, because it counts as one of Cass's faves. But we have The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is the sequel to The Poppy War, which I read last year. It's one of the sequels that I really want to prioritise getting to this year, so this is a perfect opportunity to do it. I could have done with shorter books in April, to be totally honest with you. Whether I get to it or not, as we say, this TBR is very much a hopefuls. But yeah, the sequel to The Poppy War, which follows Rin, who wanted to join the most elite military academy, and then discovers the differences between going to war and learning about war and the atrocities of war. This one I feel like I could enjoy a lot more than I enjoyed The Poppy War. I didn't dislike The Poppy War, but I think I'd kind of hyped it up in my head to be bigger and better than it was. But I think it was a great setup for a fantastic sequel. So I do think I'm going to really enjoy this one. I am just a little bit put off by the size and how busy my month's going to be, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. Roll number 4. 2. Blue blank or purple. I'm going back for blue. Yeah. Blue blank. Genreless. We have, can you find something gifted? Nice. And we have a blue pie in there. Roll number 4. Blue blank. Nice and simple. And we got, can you find something gifted? Now, I have many options for that because you guys are the most generous folk going. It's crazy. But again, lining up with my Aurelium TBR, one of the prompts that I need to fulfill there is to read some short stories. And I was really confused for a second because I thought, oh god, I don't really like short stories, what do I do? And then someone said, oh, what about those Tales books that you got? You know, they're all short stories, folktale stories, sorts of things. So I've decided that I'm gonna pick up Monstrous Tales, which is one of the Chronicle books collections that I've got a bunch of, and this was gifted to me by Amanda, so thank you very much, Amanda, for this, and everything else that you gift me, you crazy lady. But yeah, Monstrous Tales, short stories and beautiful illustrations of tales of monsters and legends and things like that from all around the world. Ooh. This collection of traditional folk tales crawls with bewitching and bloodthirsty creatures. Japan to Nigeria, Ireland, etc. Deadly pacts, heroic feats, and otherworldly journeys. I'm looking forward to this, and it counts for that Aurelium prompt, which is perfect. Roll number 5. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another blue blank or roll again? Well, I feel like I would be taking the piss a little bit. So let's go roll again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. Sci-fi or adult fantasy? Heck. 1, 2. Adult fantasy. Please be nice to me. What series do you need to finish? Couldn't have been nicer. There is a purple pie in there. Roll number 5, we got another purple adult fantasy, and we've got what series do you need to finish? Now, a series that I am very eager to finish and that the last book comes out for later in April is the Chorus of Dragons series by Jen Lyons. The Discord of Gods comes out on April 26th, I think. So I'm not giving myself much time to read it, but I don't think I'm gonna need much time to read it, judging from how quickly I've gone through all the others in this series and how eager I am to finish out this series. Oh, I'm so excited for this book. I've raved about Ruin of Kings and the rest of the series so much that I don't think you need to hear me do it again. I love it. I'm so excited to finish it, and where we left off at the end of House of Always, there's so many things that I need to know, so many things that I need to see pan out. Like, I'm very, very excited for this. So when this prompt came up, perfect. And finally, roll number 6. 1. Middle grade or YA? I'm gonna go for middle grade. 1. And we have got... Can you name a book recommended by a friend? I sure can. I sure can. And there is a green pie in there. And finally, roll number 6 for TBR Pursuit, we got a middle grade, and our prompt is, can you name a book recommended by a friend? Now for middle grade, I have a lot of middle grades recommended by a friend, that friend namely being Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, but one that I do want to get to in April because it has a polar fantasy element to it, which will work very nicely for Readathons, is When the Sea Turned to Silver by Grace Lynn. This is the sequel to, I can't reach it, but Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, which I read, was it last year, I think, possibly, which was very enjoyable, about a young girl who wants to find the man of the moon to grant her family's wishes, and she finds dragons and talking fish and things along the way. I don't know too much about what this is about. I don't know if it's a direct sequel or more of a companion. It may be, but we have ice and snowflakes and this very snowy looking dragon on the cover, and Gavin has told me that this is a bit more polar fantasy-ish. I'm not even gonna read the back. We're just gonna dive into this without knowing what to expect, but I really liked the first book, so I'm hoping I enjoy this one too. And if the first one's anything to go by, it should be a pretty quick read as well, which I definitely need. And that isn't too bad for a TBR Pursuit TBR. However, there is a lot more that's going to be going on in the month. As I said, I'm behind with Robin Hobb, so I need to catch up with that. I am behind with RJ Barker. I still need to read Call of the Bone Ships and Bone Ships Wake. Will I get to both of them in April? Fingers crossed. And then we have Middle Grade Monthly, which we are doing like a Brightstorm along for. I'm hoping to have read Brightstorm by the time this video goes up, fingers crossed, but then I also need to read Dark Whispers. And then to fill out the rest of my Aurelium TBR and everything else for Readathons and the Pokeathon gym, I'm going to end up reading a little bit wildly, I think. And I'm not going to set too much of a TBR outside of potentially these 6 for TBR Pursuit, because mood reading is still very much what I'm being called to at the minute, so I don't want to put too much pressure on. Here's a set of books that I definitely will read, but they're my 6 most likely options for something. Maybe. Anyway, that is it for this video. Sorry if it's been a little bit chaotic with me not really knowing what I'm reading and having 7 billion things on. But I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, give us a thumbs up, chat to me down below, all that good stuff. I hope you are looking forward to Vida. Fingers crossed I managed to get through it all. But yeah, with that being said, I will see you in the next one, which will be tomorrow. Bye!